Yesterday, I encountered the absurd claim on social media that just because former Prime Minister Stephen Harper's Conservative government appointed many of the people who are currently serving on the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation's board, that means that the CBC's news coverage is actually biased in favor of the federal Conservative Party. Obviously, this is completely ridiculous. It doesn't take much watching of the CBC or reading of their articles to understand that this is a outlet that is biased towards the political left and especially the Liberal Party of Canada. But the person who was responding to me on Twitter, trying to prove that somehow the CBC is actually conservative biased because of the appointments, they're actually proving is that it doesn't matter who appoints who to the CBC board. The problem with the CBC is that their incentives are to favor parties who are going to give them more money. It doesn't matter that Stephen Harper appointed you to the CBC board. Your goal, once you are working for the CBC on the board, is to make sure that you get the most amount of money to run subsidize the crap coverage that the CBC provides Canadians. That's really what all that's being proven here. And I want to pull up a couple of videos here just to prove how obviously biased that the media has become towards the Liberal Party. So I'm pretty sure everyone has found out about the stupid grocery tax that the Liberals are investigating, passing something related to. But what's really absurd is just the way that the media is treating this grocery store CEOs in this particular situation. Most Canadians are fairly mad at the Liberals for trying to propose a new tax to supposedly increase affordability at grocery stores. There's never been a tax in the entire history of the world that's actually made things more affordable. But the media doesn't actually care about all of those obvious red flags about what the Liberals are doing. There's great questions there to ask the Liberals to justify themselves and what they're doing with this grocery tax. And the same questions could have been asked with the carbon tax and everything like that. But whatever. I'll just stick to the grocery issue right now. But I have two clips here that show the very different treatment that the legacy media has towards people that the Liberal government is going after and the Liberal government itself in a situation where there should be very easy questions that should be asked to the Liberals to discredit their push for this new grocery tax. But anyways, here it is. Here's the first clip is Galen Weston walking into some federal building to have meetings with the Liberal government about supposedly reducing grocery prices, as if he has the power to do that with the very tight margins that Loblaws currently works with.
Will you lower food prices?
Do you have a plan? Do you have a plan right now? They're asking for a plan?
Will you agree to the government's request? Is it too tight a timeline?
Anything to say to us?
Like, those people are legitimately acting like vultures. Like, they're supposed to be like objective news people. And as soon as Galen Weston exits his vehicle and walks towards the door, they don't say, "Hey, Galen, can I ask you a question? I want to ask you a question about the Liberals' grocery tax plan, or what do they want you to do to lower grocery prices, or is there anything that Loblaws can do to lower grocery prices?" It's immediately like, "When are you going to lower prices, Galen? When are you going to do it? When are you going to lower prices?" Well, like, why won't you lower prices? And it's like, this isn't questions. These are just attacks. It's the Liberal media trying to put pressure on Galen Weston to make him the villain, because Justin Trudeau and Jagmeet Singh have made it the official narrative that it's grocery store price gouging that's leading to inflation on food prices, even though it's been proven over and over again that these grocery stores, despite their higher prices, are actually making less profit over time. Jagmeet Singh had that really funny community note that was applied to him. I'll just bring it up on screen again. I've showed it a few times, where he was trying to claim that Sobeys had an increase in profit of 52%, but they've actually been losing money in terms of their profit. And he was just basing all of this off of their parent company's increase in profits. But that was only because they sold a bunch of gas stations, which is a one-time financial exchange. They can't sell those same gas stations next year. That's going to be seen as a loss next year, year to year. Anyways, but despite them going after Galen like that, you'd think, okay, well, maybe the media is just going after Galen Weston and Loblaws, and then when the Liberals come, they're also going to go after them. Not at all. I will show you this very, very ridiculous clip with Chrystia Freeland just breezily walking up to the media, and the media they were like an inch away from saying, "You look so pretty today, Chrystia." But here it is.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We understand there are two things which are the most important for Canadians today: prices and interest rates. And as I said a couple of weeks ago, our government is going to do everything in our power to make sure prices stabilize. This meeting today is part of that effort. Nous comprenons qu'aujourd'hui,
So I'll just cut her off there as she starts speaking French. But there was literally reporters there, and then again, this is the exact same group of reporters. This is Alex Ballingal from the Toronto Star uploading both of these videos onto his X account or whatever. I'll still call it Twitter. I like saying Twitter better, but these are the exact same groups of reporters. I'll even go back to the Galen clip just to show the contrast again. But when Christia walks up to them, you have some of them sitting there being like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Can I step back for you, Christia? Oh, Christia's here to talk." Everyone just ask her the nicest question. What's going on today, Christia? Like just a very open-ended softball question to Christia Freeland. No questions about, hey, do you think that maybe, reducing taxes might help affordability? Do you think reducing regulations might help out affordability? Where's the evidence that grocery stores are price gouging? I know you can pretend that revenues are profits, but these companies are obviously losing money based on their own financial reporting, unless Chrystia Freeland and Jagmeet Singh and Justin Trudeau are such conspiracy theorists that they think all these companies are like cooking the books to pretend that they're losing money. That's obviously not true. But again, they're literally on the exact same sidewalk in front of the building. And someone might claim, well, Galen Weston's walking away from the media and you won't answer their questions. Well, what does that give you the right as an objective reporter, supposedly, to just scream at him that he might be like, why aren't you lowering prices? Why aren't you lowering prices? Like, you sound like some sort of socialist activist on the side of the road screaming at a CEO, like, why are you stealing my money by, selling people goods and services they need? Whatever. But here's the Galen Weston clip again.
You're trying to lower the price of groceries. Will you lower food prices?
Do you have a plan? Do you have a plan right now? They're asking for a plan.
Will you agree to the government's request? Is it too tight a timeline?
Anything to say to us?
I think the pipsqueak saying, "Do you have a plan?" I think that's Alex Ballingal himself. But it's like, "Do you have a plan, Galen? Do you have a plan?" And then going on like, "Oh, how are you going to lower food prices? Are you going to lower food prices?" As if Galen Weston can just say, "Oh yeah, let's just have a loss on all products that we sell." I don't think people realize a lot of grocery stores sell items that they do not make money on. I worked retail for a while. I could have pointed out 15 items on our shelves that we literally did not make money on. We lost money every single time we sold someone it. It's been pointed out before. A lot of grocery stores actually make a lot of their profit margins on pharmaceuticals and a little extra impulse items like frying pans that people buy. They still make some money on produce, obviously, but there's a lot of products in that grocery store that they cannot reduce the prices anymore of. And nobody's confronting Chrystia Freeland saying, does this have anything to do with government spending, increasing inflation and making food prices go up? How do you know that it's somehow price gouging? It's just been framed that the government is sitting down with a serious conversation with these grocery CEOs to get these food prices down. That's the way the media is covering it. It's just the idea that look how serious and just how serious these the liberals are trying to wrangle these grocery CEOs when there hasn't been an ounce of analysis on whether the liberals are right. And they've been frequently wrong. And let's not pretend that this is somehow a government that's been batting 1,000 for the last 8 years and we can just take their word for it. We obviously cannot. But the energy that the media seems to just click on and off when dealing with someone from the liberal government and then dealing with someone the liberal government is opposing is completely ridiculous. This is why the CBC and all other legacy media needs to be defunded. They do not have the level of maturity to actually deal with politics in an objective way because their incentives are to get more money. Even though the Toronto Star is a company listed on the stock market, they even got a massive handout by Ontario Premier Doug Ford. They got exclusive access to the first online gambling license from the province of Ontario. And somehow they still had to shut down a bunch of their local papers because that's how much the Toronto Star sucks at doing business. They can't even keep all of their outlets operating while using the gambling losses of addicts. Whatever, but they're an ethical company. Well, I can't judge them. They're ethical, liberal, progressive people. They know what they're doing. What people destroying their family gambling? Who cares? We need to do some terrible news coverage. But anyways, this was just I just wanted to make this video because I saw these two clips and I hadn't seen anyone highlight how just ridiculous the contrast in these were. So hopefully this was at least somewhat interesting to you. But That should be it for me today. I have my usual Give, Send, Go link in the description of this video for my legal fundraiser. I've had to pay over $15,000 defending myself from a Chinese billionaire. I'm winning that case, but he's trying to drag it out, and I suspect he's going to keep trying to reschedule dates for like questioning and whatnot to try and drag money out of me, because every time I deal with my lawyer, obviously I do have to pay him. And then I also have a link in the description of this video to the TNT email list. Sign up there if you want to get on our email list, because we do send out our videos and our articles out to our subscribers directly. And I'm starting to write articles again. It's not just videos these days. So there is an advantage to signing up to the email list. You're not just going to, it is not like the YouTube subscription feed is not a replacement for the email list. Anyways, that should be it for me today. And I hope everyone has a wonderful afternoon.